Great rise, beloveds. You know who it is, you know what it is. It is your girl, Queen Goddess, the King Advocate, and it is Melanated Monday. Give you all time to get on in here so we can have some serious conversation. I hope you all can hear the music that is playing, featuring Kaylon, the artist. If you all were with me some time ago, I had him featured on my show on iHeartRadio, and it was pretty important, the interview that we had, so we're going to talk about it again, but this is going to be me this time, unless he calls in. But check him out, Kaylon, the artist, K-L-O-N, the artist. I'll give you a link to, or give you information to how you can access all of his music. So tonight, what we are talking about is spiritually transmitted demons and diseases. This conversation should get pretty intense. Great rise, Racine, cousin. I see you, beloved. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. And give folks time to get in here, get acclimated. So give me a moment, please. To get folks to get in here, they know what time we start, but you know, they do what they do. As long as they get here. Hope all is well with you. We got some folks on here, so say something so I can greet you properly. Say something to me. I see that you're there. Throw up a heart or a thumb or something so I can say something to you. We'll give folks some time to get in here, okay? Fail properly. What's going on, Mavis Red? Thank you for being here, beloved. I appreciate you. Yeah, we're gonna have the phone lines open tonight. This is pretty deep conversation. I know I've had it before. It's been some time, but it needs to be had again. Folks don't really understand the severity of tonight's topic, so we're gonna give people time to get in here. Hopefully they show up soon and in bunches, okay? But if you want to call in this evening, the phone lines will be open. That number is 770-906-5271. Miss Carla, I saw you, loved one. Thank you for being here. I do appreciate you, darling. I think I have to play that again. I'm gonna have to start it over. That's what I'm gonna have to do, because this track right here. But wait a minute. Like I said, this is the song is from Kaylon, the artist, and it is called Spiritually Transmitted Demons. And that's what we're talking about tonight. We're talking about it in a very adult manner, how they occur during sex. So y'all need to be here. You might want to start tagging some people, male and female. We're going to have this conversation. Like I said, we talk about things that people try to ignore or are afraid to talk about. You know what we do here. You know what we do here. Let's talk, lady. Deep subject. Yes, ma'am. Herbalist, Big Herm. That's what's going on. Great rise, beloved. Thank you for being here. I do appreciate you. I do. Trying to give people a little more time to get in here and get situated, because I don't want to, well, I end up repeating myself anyway. So that doesn't really matter. Let me go back here. I'm sorry, YouTube. I done had them all blocked out and carrying on totally different screen. Anyway, I'm glad you all are here. Like I said, we are talking about spiritually transmitted demons and diseases. And like I said, I had this conversation before. It's probably been at least 2 years. We were talking about it on iHeartRadio. And I had a special guest with me at the time, which was Kaylon, the artist. He's not with us on this particular show, but the interview was deep. And I wanted to talk about it again tonight because some things are happening that people are not really understanding. They're not paying attention to. Like I said, they're not being spoken of at all. And it's really an answer to a lot of stuff that we're dealing with. It's the cause of a lot of disruption in people's personal lives and their spiritual lives, business, whatever. It's a call. Shah Ali, I see you, beloved. Corey Bain, great rise to you both. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you both. I do. But again, when you don't speak on things, you try to make it seem as if they don't exist. It makes it worse. You don't know how it's coming, why it's coming, or who it's coming for. So this right here is your battleground. The information I'm giving you is your shield. Take heed. Use your weapons. Your weapons is information. Your weapon is information. Use it as a shield of protection. Okay? That is why I'm here. And that is why I'm here, to give you the information so that you are always guarded, girded, shielded, protected, ready to fight. Stay ready so you don't have to get ready. That's why you come here. I hope. I'm hoping that you all utilize the information that you get on a regular basis, not just come here for something to sound good or to be inspired, because you know that ain't what I do. Y'all know that ain't what I do. I'm not here to make you feel good at all. The worse you feel, the better of a job I have done. Great rise, Wanda. Thank you for being here, beloved. I appreciate you. I am definitely here to provoke your thoughts. If I provoke your thoughts, it will cause you to change your actions. Okay? I don't want to make you feel good, because you feel good to be for a moment, and then you go right back to doing the same shit. We don't want that. We want you to elevate and do something different and better. So I'm going to go ahead and jump in. We got enough people here to have the conversation. Again, tonight's subject is spiritually transmitted demons and diseases. So let me start. So what provoked this? I don't even say anything provoked it tonight. I always go into some type of meditation to listen to what needs to be discussed. And Most High put it on me that this was the subject matter that needed to be had this evening. And it's important that we do, not just for one sex or the other, it's for both. I'm going to deal with it separately and then show you how they go together. Okay, so first off, I want to talk about two particular demons or deities, if I will. A lot of you have not heard of, not familiar with at all. You may not even accept a fact that it exists, which doesn't stop the fact that it exists. Okay. There's several, but the two in particular, they kind of go hand in hand. And one is specific to men, the other is specific to women. So I'll start with the one that's specific to the women. There is this deity that is called succubus. It's Succubus, succubus. And her motto or motive is to seek men that are sleeping and engage intercourse with them. That's how she controls them. She controls their thought, because obviously when you're sleeping and something happens like that, you think you're dreaming or that it's not real, whatever the case is, or you have a certain kind of dream, which it may not be that at all. Some people believe that it only happens to those who have been diagnosed with some type of mental disorder or dysfunction. People who have suffered from schizophrenia or some type of PTSD. And that's not necessarily the case. There have not been a whole lot of cases that have been reported because the people that it's happened to either don't want to discuss it or afraid to discuss it because they feel they're going to be ostracized or locked up or, something along that matter. So it's not really discussed. There are a couple cases that have been documented, and these were young men that were affected. They were given medications, which clearly did not help. They suffered for a very long time. I don't know what made the deity stop or pause or whatever. Eventually, it subsided for a little while. I don't know what caused it, so I'm not going to act like I do. But anyway, I said succubus is the female deity, the female spirit that seeks to have intercourse with the men. Divine, what's going on, loved one? Thanks for being here. I appreciate you. And for the men, it is incubus. Incubus is the male form that seeks to have intercourse with women while they are sleeping. Okay, same scenarios that are going on. And I found it kind of, let me read this for you. Okay, incubus is Latin, and it means nightmare. It also comes from, the word incubar, which means to lie upon, weigh down, or brood. If any of you have ever felt like in your sleep something was hovering over you, something was keeping you from moving, something was literally laying on you, you could have had an encounter. Did it have to be that? No, it didn't have to be. But you could have had an encounter. The thing about incubus, and I'm just thinking about the name, if you think about incubate, you have to you have to penetrate when something is being incubated. So that's the way things are given life, is through the penetration of. Just be aware. Like I said, I'm just going to give you a little bit of information. Anything else outside of this particular conversation, please research on your own, because I do not pretend to be an expert on everything. And this right here, I am not an expert on, okay? I'm doing what I'm instructed to do. And again, I have some information from when I had the conversation before, and I had to just go back and read a few things, whatever. I'm giving you what I'm being instructed to give you. Okay? All right. So again, those are the two that we're talking about today, not even in detail, but just to bring those to your awareness that these things do exist. So what happens on both levels, be it the incubus or succubus, once these deities have penetrated, or one can't penetrate, but for the lack of a better word, once they have penetrated, the person, the victim, let me put it that way, begins to take on traits of that particular entity. Not knowing it, they're unfamiliar with it, so they don't know why certain things are happening. They don't know why they have certain thoughts, certain behaviors, but they continue for X amount of time. Sorry about that. They continue for X amount of time, and being unaware, they are transmitted. Okay, those energies are transmitted. Those spirits are transmitted from one partner to another, and it continues until it becomes a cut cycle, until it becomes aware of. I don't have all the answers to how to do it. Okay, I don't have it. But this is what happens. Now, what sparked the conversation, and I've had this conversation a few years ago as well, was dealing with a young lady some years ago that was having issues with her then boyfriend or person she was sleeping with. Let me put it that way. I don't know if they were boyfriend or not, boyfriend, girlfriend or not, but the person that she was sleeping with, he had some things going on. Okay, he was all over the place emotionally, spiritually. You could tell that he was dealing with some shit. Okay, I'll put it that way. And she noticed that sometimes during intercourse, he looked to be different. He looked to be a different individual. His behavior changed. His whole physical everything changed while they're having intercourse. It didn't last long, but it did change. She noticed also that afterwards, and not necessarily immediately, but it was growing, that her behavior started to mirror his behavior. And she didn't like that. So we had a conversation, and I just was trying to get to know a little bit more about, her boyfriend, some things that he's been through, his family history, his medical history, emotional history, that type of thing. And he had dealt with some things in his childhood, even in adulthood, that were traumatic. He had some sexual experiences that were traumatic. Just a lot of stuff was going on with him. But she began to take on a lot of his characteristics, which was the whole point of that conversation. The man, I did get a chance to talk to him. He did not see anything wrong necessarily. He just looked at it like he's just he promiscuous. I don't want to say he a hoe, but he's out there. He's just doing his thing, doing what he want to do with whomever will allow him to do it. So he was doing his thing and not realizing that the woman that he was with was also going through a change. He wasn't really connecting it, that she was going through a change. So what happened, they end up splitting up, whatnot, but I end up counseling both of them. And it seems as though they were both affected and infected by spiritual demons. They were infected by it. What I'm saying, or what I'm going to say, what I'm going to say, women are always taught to be cautious on who we have sex with. We're taught to be cautious for the purpose of being pregnant, for the purpose of getting diseases, for the purpose of being emotionally hurt, those particular things. But we're never taught to be careful on a spiritual level on what that man may be transferring. We're not taught to pay attention to how he is spiritually, how he is emotionally, because those things transfer over from one person to another. And sexual intercourse is the easiest way to transfer anything from one being to another. Because women are the receivers, it's easier for us to catch everything. We wide open, like literally wide open to receive whatever is thrown our way. So we have to be more careful in who we allow to be in us. This grown folks conversation. We have to be careful who we allow to be in us. And it doesn't matter if it's raw or protected. Don't matter. Spirit can go around a prophylactic. Okay? So it does not matter if the man is wearing a condom or not. It's the whole interaction with this individual that causes the transfer. Howard said he's a hoe. And thank you for being here, loved one. I thank you very much. Appreciate you. Rashawn, thank you, loved one, for being here. Okay. But yeah, so it doesn't matter if you're trying to use a physical protection or not. Spirits don't operate. They don't have to operate in the physical. Hence, they be in spirits. Okay. And for men, what's going on, Billy? Hope all is well. Thank you, beloved, for being here. Men, you all have to be careful also, because what you don't think about, again, you're taught to be careful, put on a prophylactic so you don't get nobody pregnant, so you don't catch no diseases, whatnot. And so can't nobody blame you for being the daddy. You are the daddy. Okay, you can't be blamed for that. What you're not taught is, let's just deal with I'm gonna deal with it from not having on a condom. Okay. And not the sexual dis-ease part of it. But you have to keep in mind that you are the depositor. Okay? You're the depositor. What comes out, no pun intended, what comes out of you is deposited into the woman. The woman takes that and nurtures it, makes it bigger or better, whatever it is, and then gives it back. So when you're talking about a baby, when you're talking about a seed, the man deposits his seed into her. She nurtures it. It becomes a human. She gives it back to him. The same thing happens when you are not spiritually protected and you have had intercourse with her. You have deposited all of your spiritual demons, all of your spiritual and sexual traumas. You have deposited those things into this woman, who now takes all of that, makes it whole, nurtures it, causes it to grow, and then she gives it back to you. So it may look like an attitude. It may look like another demonic spirit. It may look like something that you completely hate. What it is a mirrored image of yourself. You have given her what you want her to give you back, but you're not really understanding what it is you gave her. Okay? You think you're giving her just pleasure. You think you're giving her orgasm. You think you just wet that thing up, whatever. I hope none of y'all are offended by this. It goes beyond the physical pleasure. There are things that are attached to that you cannot see, but they do manifest, and you may not recognize what they've become. So if you're dealing with a woman that you have had intercourse with, and usually this is on a continuous basis, it doesn't necessarily have to happen one time, but it could. If you are dealing with somebody on a continuous basis, intimately, sexually, and they began to show you some characteristics that are unusual, things that you don't necessarily like or appreciate, things that may be emotionally harmful, whatever the case is, I can almost guarantee you gave that to her first. You gave it to her. She took that, nurtured it, caused it to grow, gave it back to you full-fledged. So if you don't like what you're receiving from this woman, you have to be careful on what you're depositing. Because if you put a check, if you put some money in the bank and you do a withdrawal, you put in a specific amount of money and you're trying to get a specific amount back, you're going to get exactly back what you put in there. You're going to get it, even if it's a little bit at a time. You're going to get the same shit. That's what I'm saying. You're going to get it one way or another. If you're going to get it all at one time, you're going to get it bit by bit. Either way, you're going to get it. Okay? So you have to be careful what it is that you are depositing. It's not just about how it makes you physically feel. That's going to end in about 7.5 minutes. Okay, that's going to be over with. Hopefully it won't be 7.5 minutes. But anyway, after the physical pleasure is gone, you're still left with the spiritual karma of it. You're still left with that. Devon says, he said, you've heard of it before. I know what you're talking about in a sense of saying. Was that it? Was there more to that? Perhaps not. Okay. If you all have any questions, comments, or concerns, if you want to call in, I'm opening the phone lines. The number is 770-906-5271. 770-906-5271. Again, what we are talking about this evening is sexually transmitted demons and dis-ease, and I hyphenated the word dis-ease. Because again, when we see the word disease, we're looking at, or we process something, physical that has happened to us, something that we've caught physically from somebody else. And a dis-ease is something that too is not normal. It's a dis-ease. It doesn't feel good. It's not functioning properly. Sorry, I got food in my teeth. Y'all get it. This conversation just made me think about relationships that I've been in, or relationships that other people have been in that I know of, or whatever, and either I've watched their behaviors change, or even watch the behaviors change, watch how the thinking process changed, and it puts you on guard. It puts you on alert to really know how serious this is. Rashawn says, so once you detach yourself from a person, how do you rid those demons and spirits? There are, I want to call them flushes, but you really have to do a complete, you have to do a body detox. Women, we have those certain types of detoxes that we do anyway. And a lot of it is you have to abstain for a minute, because even if you're not dealing with that person, there's a thing called residue that is attached still. So you want to make sure that it is, that you're not transferring residue. You know what I'm saying? I will do more research and give you a more specific answer, but I know there are cleansing herbs that you can use. There are meditations that you can use. There are vibrational sounds that you can use. And of course, abstinence you can use. But it may be a minute. That's what I'm saying. It may be a minute, because you have to rid it. Because like I said, it doesn't necessarily have to be just that one. Remember, the one that you're with was with somebody who was with somebody who was with somebody who was with somebody. Okay, so there are parts of every person that you've ever been with that are being transferred. I don't know how long that takes. I'm not going to act like I do. I don't know. But that's what you have to keep in mind. And the same for men. Who you've been with, she's been with somebody else, and she's been with somebody else, and she's been with somebody else. So it's a continued thing. And this is the reason, or at least part of the reason, why emotional traumas are passed down. Why you get involved in relationships with people who have so much bullshit going on, so much drama and trauma going on, and they don't know why. They don't know why they act a certain way. They don't know why they think a certain way. They don't know why, because it's been going on for generations. We talk about how those generational curses and stuff like that can be handed down, or how they are handed down, how they're passed down. These things can also be passed down through your sexual line, sexually, through your generational line. I wish right now at this moment I had the answer on the definite answer on how to clean it, how to get rid of it. But what I did speak on those, what I did give you, those topics I did give you, those will be helpful. So you want to do physical detoxes, you want to do a lot of herbal stuff, meditation, sound, vibrational cleanses, abstinence. It's a lot of stuff. When we say raise your vibration, that means a lot. Okay, raising your vibrations, get rid of a lot of things. It's like a spiritual parasite. So you have to know what things to mix to get rid of parasites. How about that? And we have Big Herm there that might be able to help you out. So Big Herm Williams, the herbalist, check him out. He might know. So shout out to you, Big Herm. But yeah, it's very serious. Like I said, we don't have these kind of conversations, and we need to, because it continues. The more ignorant we are, the more in trouble we become. Do you all have any questions? Any other questions that you want to ask? And hopefully I'll have an answer for you. If not, not right now. I will definitely do some more research. But ask the questions. If you have any comments or concerns, or if you want to call in, please do so. Let me make sure my phone is 770-906-5271 is a call-in number. 770-906-5271. I'm going to play for you a song from Kalon, the artist, who made a song called STDs, which was spiritually transmitted demons. And if you all remember, like I said, I had him on my show probably 2 years ago. And so I want you to listen to it. So hopefully, let me know if you can hear it. The herbalist Big Herm says, no problem. I got your own parasites. That's what's up. Miss Wanda, you are so very welcome. I love it. Beloved, you are so very welcome. I'm going to play this song. I really want you all to listen. I probably have to bring it a little closer so you can hear it, but I want you to listen. So I'm going to be quiet for the duration of this song. So stay with me. Don't go away, because I'll stop talking, because I just need you to listen to what's being said, okay? Be careful who you have sex with. Some spirits is reckless and got a death wish. Cops can't protect you from transmitting demons. Detox your spirit, the enemy is scheming. Sex addicts be leaning for a drug called pleasure, and won't go in rehab to get it together. Rejecting the mind to live for the flesh, feeding the body with no intellect. They're suicidal for lack of self-love. Put down the toxic to get your health up. Lord help us. We're blinded and indivisible, thinking if we had sex, then it's not spiritual. You can have sex with a person suicidal. Wake up with the same thoughts screwing deep inside you. We become one when we have sex. Flesh to flesh, our spirits connect. Spiritual transmitting demons keep on your bills away. How you really need to heal? I just really need to heal today. Spiritual transmitting demons keep on your bills away. On your bills away. I just really need to heal. I just really need to heal today. Sex demons break my mother's back in slavery days. They spirit led by hateful ways. Lust is a demon breaking innocent wounds, hurting the mother only lead us to doom. My great grandmother got pricked by a sharecropper. When the spirit is sick, we need a soul doctor. got raped before I was born. When I was in the womb, I know that I had to be strong. I was in the storm with her. I felt what she felt. I tried to help her. Though I needed healing myself, she used to hit me and blame me for why she got raped. She didn't mean it. I could tell by the looks in her face. She was hurt from the past, generational curse. Tried something on the pain, but it was making it worse. Sometimes we pass demons not knowing we do. This generation lacking spiritual truth and spiritual food. Keep your STDs, spiritual transmitted demons. Keep all your ills away. I just really need to heal. I just really need to heal today. Spiritual transmitted demons. Keep all your ills away. All your ills away. I just really need to heal. I just really need to heal today. Okay, I gave you a little bit. There's a little bit more left, but and said, basically, like I said, it deals with the spirits being transferred from one person to another, regardless to if you are physically protected or not. When those spirits transfer, whatever is attached to each individual, they are transferred to each individual, which is why mental health is important to maintain. It's important to know who and what you are dealing with before and during your relationship, before you get into any relationships. You need to know what you're dealing with, okay? Because, like I said, it's transferred. You don't know why you are behaving a certain way, why you feel a certain way, why you do certain things. And it is because the individual or individuals that you have been encountered with have transferred those things to you. If you all have ever seen the old movie called Fallen, what's his name? Y'all know who it is. The good looking black dude that everybody talks about, the actor. That's a shame I can't think of his name. But anyway, the gist of that movie was spirits being transferred through touch. No matter how, people would just walk down the street and touch somebody else, and that spirit would transfer to one. Denzel, there you go. Thank you, beloved. Denzel Washington. The spirit would transfer from one person to another, and it would just keep going. It never died. So even though I think at the end, the last person that was affected or infected by the spirit was killed, the spirit doesn't die. It continues on. So it left that physical host and moved on to something else. So it doesn't die. No, it was Denzel Washington, but he fine too, Carla. But it was Denzel Washington, and the movie was Fallen. So if you all get a chance, watch that. It's an old movie, but it is very pertinent. It'll stay relevant. Watch it. You'll really get it after this conversation. You'll get what I'm saying. But yeah, everything that happens with a person that you're with happens to you. I was told a while ago, and I started paying attention too, and this is no hit to anybody who participates, okay? Just some information that I received that I paid attention to with a couple people as far as dietary intake. When people eat a lot of pork in particular, let's do that one, because that's what I watched, eating a lot of pork, they tend to take on the physical attributes, first of all, of that pig, and some other characteristics such as honoriness as well. And I watched this, so I'm not telling you what I heard, okay? I'm watching it happen with a few people. They have become very wide-nosed in appearance. They've become very ornery and aggressive in their behavior, which they were not that prior to. Does that happen with everybody? I can't speak on it, but just the ones that I watched it happen. So you have to be careful also with the things that you take into your system, because that also opens up pathways, gateways for these things to enter into you. Okay, you are what you eat. There's something about that. He said, time is on my side. Yes, it is. Yes. That was the song. That was it, Miss Mavis. Thank you, darling. Time is on my side. Yes, it is. Was a song that was being played in the movie, and that's what each that was the Demon's theme song. Time is on my side. That says a lot. Thank you for sharing that, loved one. But yeah, pay attention, you all. Except we have these conversations that people don't have that need to be had, and I'm so appreciative that you all show up. And listen, I just hope that you utilize the information. Utilize the information, okay? Spiritually transmitted demons exist. They cause dis-ease, okay? If you are a person who's normally happy, carefree, giving, and nothing in particular happened to cause that to shift, but you are constantly interacting with this one particular person or whatever, you might want to check that. Might be some transfer. It don't even have to be like super major. Just anything. It could be a minor change that's happening. It's all of a sudden, it's like, I don't know why I'm doing it. If you don't know why you're doing something, that means it ain't you that's doing it. You are not in control. So check that. That's a problem. If you are not in control of what you're doing, something is in control. Okay? Be careful with whom you decide to interact with. Get to know them. Get to know everything that you can about them. Now, they may not say it. They may not verbally tell you, which is why you have to listen to all the words that are not said. Okay? Listen to everything that's not said. Pay attention to the moves that have not been made. All of that. Check family history the best way you can. Throw out some questions. Just see. Make it a game. Just see so it doesn't come across like you are actually testing them. Whatever the case is. But find out and make sure that you are spiritually guarded. Make sure you are spiritually protected. Again, raising your vibration means everything. Watching what you take into your body is everything. Watching who you have around you. Watching who's watching you. All of these things matter. Pay attention to everything. Become aware of everything you are aware of. It's important. Okay? I'm not telling you what I heard. I ain't telling you what I heard. I'm doing these things and have been doing these things for myself. As far as this, the whole spiritual cleanse, I had my detox, like literally detox. It was no D going on. Detox. And you have to do that. You have to do it. But while you're doing it, also do a spiritual, the spiritual part of it. You know what I'm saying? Do the meditation of it. Do the eating part of it. All of that. Get reconnected to self. Get reconnected to the energy source that we call the Most High. Get reconnected to that. That's the only way that you survive it. That's the only way to become completely free of it, is to turn it over to something greater than yourself. And that's just being honest. That's being real. But these spiritually transmitted demons, they do exist. And like I said, men, if you are involved with a woman or women or whatever, and you notice that they all start to have the same type of characteristic, they start to take on the same behavior, and you don't like it, take heed to what you deposited, because she's only giving it back. If you don't like what she's giving to you, don't deposit it, because she's going to make that thing bigger and better. okay, in a great way or in the worst way. She gonna amplify that thing and give it right back, okay? Pay attention. Have a little bit more restraint. Start asking some questions yourself. It's not just about the sexual pleasure. It's not just about that. I get it. Trust me. I get it. But I don't want it. You know what I'm saying? I don't want all that other stuff that comes attached with it. So you have to be very careful. All right. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please share them. Like I said, this is the platform we open. It's Grown Folks Talk. We talk about everything. Share your comments, your questions, or your concerns. If you want to call in, my phone is on. It is 770-906-5271. If you all want to get that particular song, or any of his music, it's K-Lon, it's K-Lon, L-O-N, the artist. He's available on YouTube, on CD Baby. He's on Pandora, on Spotify, and Apple Music. I would suggest that you do look into it. Listen to the words that are being said and pay attention. Because like I said, this is some real shit. It's some real shit. Somebody that you know, love, like, even can't stand has probably been infected at some point in their life. They may not still be, and it may not have even been to a point where it was noticeable or anything drastic. Okay. But they do exist. And not to say even that the person has to have had a demonic, where it's negative, where it's what's the word I'm looking for? I mean, it's still going to be a parasite, but it doesn't necessarily have to be something that's going to take away from you in a negative way. So it can transfer positively if you like. Either way, it's going to transfer. So you need to know what that is. Ms. Carter says, how do you clean yourself from spiritual demons? And that's what we were talking about. A lot of it comes from, for women, I said, we have the herbal cleanse. I don't know if it's the yoni, whatever it is, but it's an herbal cleanse that you can use. And there are what you take in eating wise, that's a big thing. Vibrational sounds, energies. Talk to Herman, Big Herm, the herbalist. He can help you out with that. Like I said, these are really, they're parasites. So you got to learn how to get them out of there. You know what I'm saying? I don't have all like a 1, 2, 3, this is how you do it. I don't have that. I can just give you the ideas of how to address them, but you have to address them. You have to start paying attention to your own self. Start paying attention to your behaviors, to how you're thinking, how you're processing, who you're with, why you're doing certain things, why you think a certain way. You have to pay attention to those things. And because it is a spiritual entity that you're dealing with, of course, you have to take that to the highest spiritual entity. Okay, you have to give it to that which is greater than us. You have to do that. You have to reconnect to the source. That is where your main power lies. That's all I got, sis. That's all I can tell you flat out. There is no pill that you can go buy and say, or get a prescription for at, CVS or nowhere. You can't go get a prescription for it. Ain't nobody gonna write it because people don't recognize that it even exists, and they're not gonna make one. Okay, but know that it exists. Know that it exists. It's a reason why it said, know thyself. Know thyself outside of the representative that appears to be you. Okay? You have to know who you are outside of your representative. That way you can recognize when you are being real and when you are being used. It's important. And everybody that just showed up, I'm going to shout out to you in a moment. I see you and I appreciate you. Jermaine said, Jermaine Moody, what's going on, loved one? He said, the ultimate power. Yes, that's where it's got to go back. Miss Wanda says, stop being around negative people also. Yes, indeed. And sometimes you just got to stop being the negative person. Paul, what's going on, loved one? Thanks for being here. I appreciate you. And again, congratulations on your wedding. Let's see what else we got going on. But yeah, and Eric, I saw you, beloved. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. It's very important to understand what this is. Devon says, stand up to the demon, take control of you in the positive intakes. People are afraid to stand up to what they don't know. And especially when you're talking about demons, because there's this image that this demon has got all these horns and, whatever going on that is beyond their control. And yes, you do have to stand up to it, but it's not anything that's outside of yourself. The demon is going to be in you. You have to receive it. It has to have found some way to get in there. Again, know thyself, get rid of the representative, because the demon, the spirit, whatever, angel, whatever, be it good or bad, can only penetrate when there's an invitation for it to come in. Real life is not going to just take over. It has to be invited. So be it a good one or a bad one, be it a positive one or a negative one, some way it has to be invited in. You have to let it in. You have to be an open vessel to receive it in some way or form. You have to say, I'm here for you. So when you don't ask questions, when you don't protect yourself spiritually, physically, emotionally, psychologically, all of that, when you don't do that, you are allowing this entity to knock on your door, look a certain way, smell a certain way, whatever, and come on in. You have to know what you're dealing with, because it will deal with you. If you don't know what you're dealing with, it's going to deal with you. Jeffrey, what's going on, loved one? I appreciate you for being here. Thank you very much. Any more questions, comments, or concerns? I'm enjoying this here conversation. It's very important that we have it, and your participation just makes it all the more, makes it all the better. Steve, what's going on, loved one? Appreciate you for being here. We have to have these conversations. You all don't be afraid to ask a question. Don't be afraid of it. We have to have the conversation. We have to come up with solutions to these problems. A lot of what's going on, I'm going to say this, a lot of what's going on with Black women, let's go there, okay? Let's go there. A lot of what's going on with Black women, where they become very aggressive, they become very spiteful, very hateful toward men, is because of what they have received from the men that they've been dealing with. That transfer has occurred, that has taken over psychologically. It has taken over their brain. It has taken over their mind, because the pattern keeps repeating. Remember what I said, the more you hear something, the more you do something, it becomes a fact. It becomes real. The brain processes that thing as a truth. It is the reality. It becomes a fact. You start to act accordingly. So the more a woman receives a man who is drama, who is sick in any way, who is emotionally or spiritually scarred, where there is any type of trauma, the more she receives men like that, again, remember, like attracts like. She's going to draw who she is. She's going to draw that same type of energy. The more she does that, the more she becomes that. So like attracts like. Like energy attracts like energy. If you are full of negative energy, if you are full of demonic energy, I went there. If you are full of demonic energy, you're going to attract demonic energy, and then you're going to transfer demonic energy. This is what keeps happening. Dennis, Drake, what's going on, loved one? Thanks for being here. I appreciate you. You're going to transfer that. Devon says, don't be scared to explore dark self, because the darkness is a part of you no matter what. Control that darkness, and other dark will sit at the feet of you at all times. Indeed, sir. Indeed. But again, it's about knowing thyself, ridding the representative. The representative is not your friend. The representative will let that enemy in. The representative will cause you to not ask any questions, to just be an open vessel and receive whatever the hell comes your way. The representative causes you to be a dumping ground. You receiving all the spiritual trash from everybody that you've ever been with. Why? Fear will do that. Ignorance will do that. Lust will do that. All of those things. I'm just saying. I'm just giving you the information. What you do with it, that's totally up to you. I hope you utilize it. The information is the weapon. The application, though, that's how you win the fight. You have to apply. You have to use the weapon. I'm giving it to you. This information is your weapon. Utilize the weapon. Don't become a victim of ignorance. Don't be that. You're being given all the information or access to the information. Utilize it. Don't allow these demons to take over your vessel. Don't allow your vessel to be one that causes it to be transferred over and over and over again. And here's a thought. You can transfer these things, this entity, to your children. See, you thought that this was just going to be between a grown man and a grown woman. It transfers to your children. So if you have had a child with a person or people who have had some type of spiritual disruption, to put it a little more kindly, you have a child with them. That means what's coming from one parent, what's coming from another parent, join together to create this other little thing here. That means this child has his drama and spiritual shit, her drama and spiritual shit. Then you wonder why your little child is a hellion, why your little demon, because you made that. You created that. Yes, you did. And then you want to blame it on God. No, y'all were the gods that did that. Y'all did that. Be careful what you're dealing with. Know who you're dealing with. And not just the other person. I'm talking about self. Know thyself first. Okay? That's who you're really dealing with on a regular basis, is you. But make sure you are dealing with you and not your representative dealing with you. Know thyself. Get my damn book. How about that? Get the book. But anyway, do you all have any more questions, comments, or concerns? I don't want to keep you too much longer. But again, 2 shout outs to Big Herm Williams. If you all want to get some herbs from him, that's where you need to go. He is the herbalist. He is the specialist. Okay, that's where you want to go. Go to him. Also, if you want to get Kaylon, the artist, get his music, his song STD, Sexually Transmitted Diseases, Demons, I'm sorry, same difference, is available on YouTube. It's available on CD Baby, Pandora, Spotify, YouTube, and Apple Music. It's Kaylon, it's K-L-O-N, the artist. I believe that song in particular is on his album Soul Warrior. All right, so check that out. The whole album, he's got like probably 6 albums out, so just get them, okay? But get that one in particular. All right, loved ones. I'm not going to keep you. I appreciate you all for being here. Again, I hope the information was useful. Big Herm has put his information on the screen, so please utilize that. That is BigHermsHerbalSolutions.com. Make sure you check that out. The brother will help you. Okay? Help him help you. All right. Again, Big Herm and Kaylon, the artist. There are other people that I'll give shout outs to as well. Just not right now. just because these two individuals are the pertinent right now. So that's why I want to do that today. So if you all have nothing else that you'd like to comment on or any more questions, I'm going to let you ponder the information, share it if you will. Don't overlook it. Don't think it can't happen to you. And also go check out the movie Fallen. Okay, Denzel Washington is in that movie. It's an old movie, but go check it out. All right. So loved ones, I will see you, most times will. Oh, I will see you Thursday. How about that? You all be with me Thursday for On the Move, Unscripted, On Purpose, live with Miss Patricia M. Goins and Misty Jones and DJ Deshaun Johnson. All right, make sure you all there. Queen Goddess King Advocate will be in the building every Thursday night on Blog Talk Radio from 8 to 10 p.m. Make sure you're there. All right, ain't no telling what we're going to talk about, but just make sure you're there. All right? All right, beloveds. I will see you when I see you, which will be soon, most high's willing. Until then, respect the light. Peace.